All right, hey everybody out there, how you guys doing tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'm ready. Sorry, just lots of prepping to get my charts all caught up. It's been crazy, crazy for me. A lot of you have seen what's going on. It's been kind of just absolutely insane. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna run through a couple charts real quick, get this thing as done as quickly as possible. Listen, the 50 MA just shut this baby down on a brick, right? 50 MA came up, boom, price action hit it, pulled all the way back. We're now back under the 50 MA. The 50 MA is sitting roughly 54.80-ish. So that's kind of our wall right now. Like we're on this. This is our weekly. This is a bleeding 9 on the weekly. This is actually pretty substantial. I can't see us moving sideways here. There's nothing that says we can't move sideways here and then push up one more time into that 5,800 6K range. We did see 300 million Tether just get pumped into the ecosystem. Not sure where it's going. It might be headed over to TRX. They're doing some that like TRX thingamabobber. Not sure what the hell is going on with TRX. Like they're gonna ride. I think they're gonna ride Tether on TRX. So we're gonna have to take a look at that. But what I really want to watch is really this 50 MA and these bleeding. So we're just, man, we've got so many different bleeding TDs right now going on, right? Look, here's the 3-day, it's bleeding. Here's the weekly, it's bleeding. This is our daily. It's a bleeding 9. Look, it hasn't flipped over there. Look at that baby still cruising. Like, we've got a lot of hot days. Like, a lot of really, really hot. We also had, who was it? Laza said, hey, man, go check out the 5-day. Let's go out and check out the 5-day. All right, so let's pull this off. I'm going to run this back. I don't even have the 5-day. 5-day, there you go. Got the 5-day. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Look at the 5-day right there. You're right. Bleeding 9 in the 5-day. I want to take a peek at that. I'm looking at the RSI on the 5-day. Yeah, not bad. Let's look at the crosses. Ooh. You just had the 7 and the 50 cross, right? That looks like the 7 and the 50. Right, it looks like the 7 and the 50 crossed. And the 200, look at that. That's the 7, the 200, the 50. That's a lot of crossing going on right there. That's a whole lot of crossing. Right, the 7 and the 50. Let's take a look at that on this. There's the 7 and the 50 crossed, and it shot back up into it. So that was a bearish cross, but that didn't play out bearish. Came right back up into it. Let's see where the 5-day. All right, let's see on the 5-day. Here's the bullish cross and the 5 and the 200 right there. There's the 5 and the 200. There's a super cross right there. So you get I'm sorry. There's the 7 and the 200 right there. There's the 7, the 50, and the 30 right there. That's a bullish cross. There's that bear cross again. Look at that. Every time that thing crossed, yeah, that worked out. That was a bear cross. Came back into that. There's the bull cross. The bull cross is way up there past that TD9. I see that TD9 barely even retraced, and then it took off again one more time to the races. Before that thing was really high. Our RSI is actually really low. I mean, our RSI is actually really, really low on the 5-day. But it is interesting. It's on a TD9. When else have we had any? Oh, look, we had a 9 on the 5-day there. We hit a 9 on the 5-day there. Kind of nice. Okay, yeah, that thing is playing out. I wonder how many days we have left in this. Interesting on the 5-day. Hey, thanks, Tiger. Thank you so much. Love all you guys out there, too. All right, 5-day chart. Bleeding. Actually, it's a perfected 9. TD9 also. Not sure how many days we have left in this, right? the RSI just doesn't look that like in that much of a danger zone right now. I mean, it looks like it could go up again actually. RSI definitely looks you know, let's see how this thing plays out there. I'm going to take that back to the 3-day. All right. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Good. All right, so wow, so we've got the daily, the 3-day, the 5-day, the weekly. It's like everybody is bleeding, right? So listen, I do expect some sort of a pullback, right? So we got the 12-hour, 1-day, 3-day, 5-day, weekly, all TD 9s or bleeding 9s. Okay, also got that double top right there on the daily. Where are we at? For double top on the daily. Right, got the double top on the daily. And 5, we have the 50 MA roadblock. All right, I think if we're going to hit that again and break it, we're going to kind of consolidate maybe a little bit and then try to push it one more time. No real crosses. I don't see any cross at all except for this daily cross over here with the 50 and the 200. That is a very bullish cross. If you look, there's your 12-hour bleeding, just flipping to a red one finally. Everybody else is kind of normal. None of the moving averages really helping me. Take a look at this MBT chart. Like, wow. You know, look, I mean, I'm going to go back. This little line was perfect. I said swoopy swoop, smash, come down. There it is. That thing is playing out absolutely perfect. I said that's like hitting the 50 MA on the weekly, and that's exactly what happened. We hit the 50 MA on the weekly and started to retrace right there. Now, what's interesting is I kind of don't have any fibs right there we ran into. So, I mean, you know, there's that a fib right there? Nope. 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 I mean, there's not a fib right there. I can't make a fib really work right there. You know, it's got a little more room. We're just kind of in limbo. I'm not saying it's finished. I'm just saying we're kind of in limbo right now. Maybe a little bit of retrace, come back up there and hit the 5-0, the 5800. Let's take a look here. You know, once again, same thing. Volume on the 3-day, not so bad. Not so bad. We definitely consolidated and moved up. That's for sure. I still am not completely sold on this. Just not sold, right? I want to see what happens with the 50. Let's get on top of the 50 for the weekly. If we can get on top of the 50 and turn the 50 into support, that will be huge. We need to turn the 50 MA into support on the weekly, right? Actually would be just monstrous, absolutely monstrous. Our second short call, first short call played out played out okay. This would have been so. This short call definitely got blown away, and it is bleeding. So you got a whole bunch going on here. You have the weekly 50 MA. You've got the short call. You've got the bleeding. You've got a lot of stuff like playing against the bulls right now. And I still want to point out that on the 4-hour, you go all the way back here, you have this gap on the 4-hour at 35.95, right? You got that gap right there. Don't forget about that gap at 35, right? 7. And don't forget about the gap at 35.95, right? It's still chilling. It's just chilling there, just waiting. All right. So let's take a look at this. Is the Ichi charts right here. So you know, really, the Ichi chart telling us you have support, you have resistance up here in this cluster, these two shelves that came down 5,800 to 6,000 right there. You've also got your Bollinger Band moving up. Your Bollinger Band is all the way up there, 5,800. This is on the 3-day, so your Bollinger Band's all the way up to 5,810. Nothing. You see where your support is, 5266, and you've got the 5K region. We see a lot of support right there at the 5K region. I'd really like to see what would happen if we would come back down and hit that 5K region. I really would. I think that 5K, I actually think 4260 has got a lot of support, and then the 5K has just got an absolute ton of support. I will show all of you that as soon as I get over to it. I'm gonna plop this. Oh, let's cut this loose right here. Where you at? All right, and yeah, 236 is support still. Nah. Okay, really not seeing a lot over here. There's this cross. That's just your 3-day. That's a bullish cross right there. That bullish cross. That's a very bullish cross right there. I love the 30 and the 50 when they cross. That's very nice. That played out nicely. Okay, let's cruise along here. I want to show you where we have a bunch of our support all laid out. This is kind of that 52 to 5300 range. You got the Bollinger Bands on the 12-hour and the daily. So, you know, just something to look forward to. There's this 5335 is our Bollinger Band on the weekly. That is actually support right now. Once again, you're on top of this weekly Bollinger Band. This does want to come back inside. There's the midline right there. This will keep continuing to move up as the weeks go by, as time goes by. So it'll keep just inching up. Then you've got 4,900 over here on the 2-week. We're above that, just kind of chilling like villains. Here's our Gauss line. Now this is kind of where I see a lot of the support at right here. So look at, see this blue line right here. So you get the blue, this is the middle Gauss. You got 59, let's just call that 5K, right? Right here, your purple, this is called your H1. So this is your H2, it's your high 2, this is your high 1. Once again, 5,000. Here you are again. Now, this is the 3-day. The 3-day is all the way over the H2. There's nothing above this but sunshine and rainbows. Okay, so it does want to pull all the way back down. It loves to go top to bottom, right? So, but your top H2 is at 5K. So you got a lot of support once again at 5K. You come on over here and you see where we're sitting. This is the weekly. This is our Gauss line coming down here, the purple one, once again, 5K. So 5K to 5,040, we have a lot. If we lose that, that's kind of like my support line right there. I really want to hold that 5,000, 5,040 area, break that, and then it could get kind of ugly if we break out under that, right? We won't get that last run back up. Okay, this is our MACD right here. Last time in 2015, this fell up before touching the trend line. It is finally trying to roll over. I'm not going to say it's going to roll over yet, but it is definitely trying to roll over here. Tap, tap, missed. Now what happened back in 2015 is this retraced a little bit and then came all the way back up and set a new higher high on this this trend line. So what happened is this trend line just got stretched way out here and it hit the trend line one more time, right? So that would be your next run, your moondoggy run back up, okay? RSI chart just showing us we're kicking onto the bearish side, but in a rejection zone. So we are in the bearish side. This is a pretty good short trade area. You know, we're just bouncing around though. This just really hasn't made up its mind what it wants to do, if it wants to let go or not. Nothing. This is possibly a J hook. I was looking for this earlier. Let's see what happens here. I want to see this break. It really needs to break. I thought it was going to break here. I thought it was going to break here, and then it's trying to break here. Now what it needs to do is it needs to actually roll over to the bear side. The blue indicator needs to roll down. So I'm watching that to see if that plays out. You know, once again, so this is another thing. Came up, hit the 7-1 on this, which is very significant. I do have the 7-1. Came through our heavy resistance and support on the monthly. So we had monthly and weekly both stacked here. We're back under it. So we're back under it. The next levels you have, you guys can see up here, you 57, 5800 for these next pretty high intensity levels with resistance. You know, I mean, there's really not a lot below this. This is your only monthly. This is a monthly, and then all your monthlies are down here. So anything in here is really just kind of free game, right? It's just there's not a lot of resistance or support in here. There you got a weekly one right there, but you know it's got to hold 51.48. Once again, that's that 5200 range. I just want to really watch it. You see a lot of buying over here that went on. There's a lot of buying. We never made it down into the void. I was looking to go deeper into this void down here and just didn't happen. I wanted to get the price action down here, start filling up this void, get down into this cluster of buying that happened way previous, right? I wanted to get way down into this cluster down here. Didn't make it down there. ADX chart and the Gauss chart together. You see the Gauss chart, this is my daily. Gauss chart is just hanging on to the H2. It does want to retrace all the way back here to the mean line, which is the blue line, which is chilling and moving up at 4,400 right now. It's just kind of putting up right now, putting up. This is tightening a little bit, so that's interesting as this is starting to tighten. You really want it to spread out. You don't want it to tighten. When it spreads out, it's a lot better. See, what happens is when it starts to tighten like this, you know, you're losing steam, and you know, see what happens. Look, it's looser, got really tight, and it just fell out on the tightness right there. ADX chart is telling us that this is a really hard pattern for me to read. This is not typical of what the ADX likes to do, so it is really confusing the living bejesus out of me. Still sideways action for the bears. The bulls are trying to, I'm sorry, these are the bears, the blue line's the bears. Bears are want to retake over this dominance, which needs them to get underneath the orange line, which is the bulls. They're doing their best, just not having it. The bulls are not having it. Weekly chart still shows us bullish on the weekly here. And yep, still shows us trending bullish on the weekly. So I had this little swoopy line, came down, and then there's my little swoopy line to take us up, and little swoopy line's working out good. And WMA chart still right back into support, right? I mean, you're right on this wedge line. You've got this huge rising wedge with the WMA chart. There it is. It's just rising wedge. Beautiful one. It is sitting on support. I also can see this playing out as a head and shoulders, right? Get a little retrace right here. Consolidate, go back up, touch that 5,800 to 6,000 line, and then pull us back down. All right, just chilling. Now, the longs to shorts is interesting. We are a little overheated on the overbought zone with the longs, with the shorts. So this, meh. I mean, you know, you get up here, not really, I don't really get fluffy feelings when I get up here, right? I'm not really feeling the love up here, honestly. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really feeling really fuzzy and warm about the shorts. I'm sorry, the shorts being up this high. Right? Doesn't mean you can, you know, I don't likey. I know likey. Longs dumping hard. Longs are dumping hard. People are just taking their longs out, and the shorts have risen. Price action's kind of just stayed sideways right there. This is our weekly, right? This is one of the things we're talking about, this 59.6 area. We are literally on it, folks. I mean, on it. In the previous bull runs, we've had 4 TD9s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go into bear market. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go into a bear market. Now, technically, well, we are just starting our very first. This is our weekly bleeding, weekly 9. There's our weekly 9 right there. Now, if this is going to play out just like it did in these last 2 bull runs, it's just going to be the beginning, folks. This is going to be the very, very beginning of 4 TD9s, right? 4 TD9s playing out on the weekly scale. That would be huge if this would be the beginning. So that means that would take us ungodly. It would be an amazing run if this is the very first TD9. The Stoke is trying to roll over. So there's your Stoke on the weekly. It's finally trying to give a little bit of a roll. You are at the cusp of breaking this. So like this is where you broke the 59.6. There's a 59.6 worked as consolidation, worked as resistance, support, so on and so forth, all the way along here. See how well that line plays out on the weekly. Like I said, we are up here just testing it. Right, we're just testing it. And there's nothing that says we can't pull back just a little and then take that run up one more time. Right, that would be literally that would be huge. You know, to pull back and then give one little bitty, give another last push up. It just shows us. Listen, this is our daily. This is our 12-hour. Just shows we're bleeding. No pullback on the Stoke. This is a 12-hour Stoke and the daily Stoke. Nope, got a lot of way to go back. They're just kind of chilling like villains. This is all the way back 2015 and 14. You see that we use this line as our support line, still holding a support, right? That line has not. This line is very, very significant. As long as we stayed above this line, this was kind of the consolidation line for the next bull run, and we are staying above it. All right, that's our support right there. It's working out. You had this rising wedge before you had the breakout. You had this rising wedge that we're in right now. This was the big retrace, so this was a big retrace and then a moon doggy. Let's go over and hold on a second. I will buzz through alts really quick. So I've done all my alt charts. I really like this candle on ADA. I am looking for this to give us a little bit of a poppy. I would like to see a little pop here. I would be very cautious in alts right now, and I would warn anybody against playing alts right now. Alts are kind of deadly. The BTC dominance is really, really high right now. So I'd be really chilling, just very careful if you're in alts right now. This kind of does play out like a triangle, bearish triangle. This is Link. It's in a channel, just needs to hold a channel right there, okay? If this baby does break out, like I was looking, this is a lot of shitty volume. But this is a very sexy bullish candle right there we had, right? It also popped on the 5.0 fib, right? But the volume sucks. I just didn't like the volume right there. BTT in its channel, just kind of chilling out. A lot of volume right there. A lot of sell volume's been playing out very recently. We do have our historical support right here on the daily. It's hard to get a weekly historical support on that. ICX. Okay, so actually I do like ICX right here. It's kind of looking good. I like it. RSI, meh. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out and take a look at the weekly. Right? So this is the only issue. So you've got this bullish cross on the weekly right here. You have the 7 MA and the 30 MA. They did cross. That's what's holding the price action up. Listen, it is what it is. The RSI is still really low coming off the bottom. There's no reason that this can't reset in one more little punch up. Listen, if this thing does run up, this is where you would run. You've got a nice double bottom here. Bottom, bottom. This would be your retest zone if this does get a good run. If ICX can get out of this little thing, maybe pull back a little bit and then run. Right now, I'd be very careful, though, playing any alts at all. So you just danger, danger, danger in alts. BTC pairing, not bad. Big head and shoulders still playing out right there. Getting a lot of pullback. Finally, this is like the first actual real red candle we're going to see on the Hype Man CZ over at Binance. It's like the first one ever. I am watching my scroll. Man, this thing is just nuts. Like, some of these buying things are crazy. This thing ran up to 17 cents for like a little bit. You see the crazy pumps and dumps. Still low volume. I want to see this still pick up a lot more volume as time goes on. Great project. I still like scroll. Have big bag of it. BCH. So I did all my BCH. Now, it's not bad where it's at. I mean, you hit the 382. You can get a little bounce out of here, the 382. Once again, I'd be very, very careful. Now, I like it because this is the BCH to XBT. So I like this a little bit better than playing the USD pairs. Watching SV. I'm still watching SV. This is kind of the must hold. I've always said $50 is Craig's pain level. They came down, punched into the $49 bit for just a moment, came back up, but they still got to listen. If you take a look here, your trend line is still a little bit lower to go. It can come down here in the 47 range before it bounces out. Same thing over here on BC. This is ABC. So I got two things I'm looking here at ABC, right? Either this consolidation zone, which got rejected, actually this this area that just got rejected, this resistance area got rejected very nicely. So it's got once, twice, 3 times, and trying to make the third run. Now you lose this, you're looking for your 382. We really haven't had a pullback of any kind here at all. There's just been no pullback on this. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback. Just bring us back to like the, you know, it's on the 236 right now, but just bring us back to the 382, even the 50, and then run for it, right? This has been a gorgeous, gorgeous run, you know, on this. Nice cup and handle, played out absolutely perfect. All right, so there's that. Ethereum. Once again, I would like to see Ethereum pull back a little bit before moving up. You see the RSI right there, still got room to go. I still think this needs to pull back a little bit. This is your BTC, pairing ETH to BTC. You are on a imperfected 9. I'd be a little more cautious on this. Let's take a look at the daily, weekly. Yeah, it's so-so. I do like that 12-hour. That's not bad at all. Okay, but I would like to see a little bit more of a pullback here. I know that 160's got a lot of support in it right there, right? There's the monthly. Look at that. We tapped the monthly. We bounced off. Then we came back to the 30 and we bounced off. So, like, we are on a lot of support right here. This support, if this is going to bounce, this is a pretty good time. Now, remember, you know, just because you get a little bounce, you got to be very careful. You don't just get a little bounce and then a hiccup bounce and a pullback, okay? It just seems like it's testing the support line. Boom, test the 30. Boom, test the 30. Let's see if we can get through the 30. What do you got? Tron. Ooh, not good. Tron took out the wedge. That's not good. That was a massive wedge. It did get taken out. That's ugly. But look at this beauty right here. Look at that TRX. That's TRX BTC. Look at that baby bleed. Bleed, 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 bleed. Right? Came all the way down to the support. You guys are going to love this. Right? Let's go over and take a look really quick. There's my tricks. Right? So, listen, I said if this thing loses that wedge, this is where it's going to go all the way back to the 786. And look at, there it is. Look at that. Perfect, right? Isn't that nice? Look at that. Very nice. So, lost the wedge and came all the way back down and then bounced right out of the right off the 786. Absolutely gorgeous, right? That was very nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank TRX. But this is good. This is, I like this. I would like to see a little pullback, right? I'd like to see BTC dump and just pull back a little bit for us, and then give this a little bit of a oomph. Litecoin, once again, in support. Kind of we're in the support range, but I'd like to see it come back a little bit more, right? This is Litecoin USD. I'd like to see this maybe bounce out for a second, then pull back. Raven, take a look at Raven. Raven's holding this trend line right here. Yeah, okay. That's Raven Bitcoin. It's Raven BTC. Here's Raven USD. This is kind of making this triangle pattern. It's holding. I like it because it's holding the 382, right? Nice support holding the 382. This could be a consolidation and just getting ready to launch to the new levels, right? It did break the wedge. I didn't like that it took out this trend line. Not happy about that. I was hoping this thing would run topside instead of taking out that trend line. That is not good. What do we got here? Ooh, man, Jesus Lord. Still have not got our bottom call. I've been saying, where in the hell is this bottom call on XRP? Look at this thing just continue to bleed out. We're at 5,500. This can come all the way down to this yellow wedge line. If you take a look here, you can see the support. I'm going to show this to you. Let me pull this up. So if you look at this, these are bleeding TD9s that come down to this yellow support line. Bleeding TD9, bleeding TD9, and this is a massive bleeding TD9. Now, does it have to retrace all the way back down here? Oh, God, probably not. But I would look at this RSI. The RSI is so deep. I would just like to see this. Show me the bottom signal. Just like one of these, just give me a little bottom signal. I will be buying in, and then I'll just try to take the Moondoggy road to heaven on that thing, right? Get a little money out of that. That'd be nice. Right, I am going to put this chart right here. Right, I kind of got a lot of information on here. This is the weekly 50 MA. You do have a lot of resistance right here. This is your next fib line up, your 0.618 at 57.71. You got a lot of support. This is your upper BB of your weekly is at 53.40. Right, it's just chilling right there. Right? Like I said, I'd like to see a little, you know, it can bounce sideways. We can really move sideways here, right? Nothing says, right? We can move sideways also. Like, we don't have to dump, right? We can totally move sideways here. Right? I mean, we could just go sideways, right? We just go bing, 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 and right now it is holding this rising wedge channel, so that's great. So we are holding this rising wedge channel, but we are in still this larger channel. So you see the much larger channel right here, but you are in this rising wedge channel. I'd like to see this rising wedge channel give way, come down, find one of these support areas, and then pull our ass out of it, right? Just come down, find the support. And then just pop our way out of it, right? This would be the bullish scenario. I'd really like to see this bullish scenario come through. Now, bearish side, once again, we talked about it. Got to hold the support here. You got to hold the support here. That's key. You lose this 5K support and you're fucked, right? That's it for me, the Vamp. I would like to say thank you for everybody out there. And I am out.